Drastic measures for drastic times. The US Federal Reserve has just taken emergency action to protect the pandemic-hit nation, announcing it will cut its benchmark interest rate to virtually zero. It'll also buy more than $1 trillion more in bonds and securities to add money into the economy. The action welcomed by the president.
That's really good news. It's really great for our country. It's something that we're very happy. I have to say this, I'm very happy.
It comes as cities across the US come to a standstill, including the usually bustling New York. And in LA, there's a different kind of action from panicked residents.
Well, this is starting to feel very surreal. This gun shop behind me is full of customers, and I want to show you how it looked a few hours ago when we arrived. Dozens of people queuing out the door, around the corner and down the street. Some had been there for hours lining up to buy guns and ammunition. A couple of people told us they were first-time buyers. They haven't owned a gun before. They don't want to own a gun, but they feel the panic is such here in LA that now they really do need to arm themselves.
We're just concerned that people might be getting a little crazy, with this going on, especially in a lower income neighborhood.
The main concern here seems to be what will happen if people run out of food and supplies, and that there might be some sort of breakdown, civil unrest. There have been riots, of course, in the past in Los Angeles. You do sometimes see these sorts of queues at gun shops in the States, only after big mass shootings, sometimes around election time when gun control is the headlines, but never before because of a global health pandemic.
Amelia Adams there in the US. Next to our Europe correspondent Ben Avery, who tells us some countries are imposing the equivalent of wartime measures.
Well, the situation has gone from bad to worse in Italy. The death toll has increased by 25% in just the past 24 hours. It was an extra 368 deaths during that day. It takes Italy's total toll now to 1,809. That tally approaching China's of 3,199. And there are fears that Italy's figure could surpass that in the next 7 days or so. Spain is also experiencing a major outbreak as well. Another nearly 100 deaths over the past 24 hours. There are now tightening measures taking place there in that country, but people are trying to keep as positive as possible. We've seen videos emerging of people going out on their balconies and applauding the medical staff who have been dealing with this rapid influx of patients. Now, the UK death toll has now risen to 35, and authorities here are now trying to work out what their next steps are. We know that they do have a plan to make sure that anyone over the age of 70 goes into self-isolation. So that would include the Queen, Prince Philip, and also Charles and Camilla, who are aged in their early 70s. So these are extreme measures, but we're seeing them now right across Europe. We know that in Austria, the country has just banned gatherings. We also know that in Ireland, they've just closed all of the pubs and bars. It does follow the release of a video that shows a Dublin pub absolutely heaving with people, and that led to some scathing comments from the health minister there in Ireland, who said that that was an insult to the medical staff in that country. So Australians are now being urged to reconsider any travel to Europe, and we know it's becoming increasingly hard for them to come overseas in any case. Qatar has just announced that flights into the capital of Doha will cease from Wednesday. We know that that is a place a lot of Australians will fly to and then connect to other destinations around the world. So that is now out of bounds from this Wednesday.